Guys, and welcome back to the channel. And today we have something a little different. You know, we're going to go through a nice tier list of the products that have come out this past year. Now that it's the end of the year, the last product of the year has come out, the new Dark World deck. And we will be ranking everything that's coming out, since everyone else tends to be doing a top 10. Well, screw the top 10. Let's just look at everything that's TCG relevant. Alright guys, so as you see, we have everything kind of listed down here. And if I'm missing anything, you know, let me know. I try to limit it down to the structure decks, the side sets, and the core boosters that came out this past year. Didn't include any of like the OTS, no speed duels or anything, you know, crazy like that. Really try and keep it down to what would have been in competitive play. So, first thing is first, we have our S, A, B, C, and D tier list. So, we're going to go through and see, you know, where everything ranks, and let me know your guys' thoughts on that as well, because I am not always the most up-to-date on the meta that's happening. You know, I play online, and I go locals every now and then, but it's kind of been a hot minute since this format has not really been the best. So let's dive on in and see where these sets rank in terms of value, playability, and yeah, overall, join us. So the first thing that we have here is the Albaz structure deck, which definitely helped out the branded archetype. I mean, you had Fall of Albaz in there. You had Pot of Extravagance reprint, Dark Ruler No More as well, which I think was in the Charmer structure deck as well too. Ghost Ogre, Brotar, Seifert, as like the big reprints in the set. And then you had the fusions. You know, you had Lubellion, you had Mirror Jade. So there was a lot that was going on there that started to see competitive play. And hell, I even played Branded Eldritch at a regional in Detroit. So, yeah, I would say this this deck, I wouldn't put it all the way up to S. I'd say maybe like A, because I mean, Branded, it saw a lot of play and still sees a lot of play as well too. So, I would say the deck overall, like an A. I mean, I think that's where I'm most comfortable with. So next we have Darkwing Blast, which is the most recent core set to come out as of recording it. My hair looks awful. Your boy needs a haircut. There we go. Sufficient. So Darkwing Blast, we have the Bestials that came out in there, the Kashtira, the beginnings of that. Tearlament Rukalos is also in there. Cartesia, the tuner for Branded and Albaz, is also in there as well too. So yeah, there's a lot that's going on in there. Bestials, we're starting to see, if they're not in a main deck, you're starting to see them side decked into a lot of different things. I've been looking at a lot of different hero builds, and they're actually playing the Magma Hut. I think that's how you say it. And yeah, a few other ones as well too. I mean, I wouldn't put an S. I would say probably A. I think it deserves an A. We're gonna see Kashtira a lot more coming up. I mean, we're already starting to see it splash into a lot of stuff, like with tier. So, yeah, I would say that. Next one, Magnificent Maven. So we had a lot of good reprints in there. I mean, Lightning Storm, Triple Tack. We had the whole Sky Striker archetype thrown in there. We had the Pharaoh's rares. They came with sleeves, so overall as a product, you kind of get a little bit extra in there as well too. So Mavens, it's a set that personally I really like. I know a lot of people enjoy opening up as well too, especially with those reprints they put in there. I mean, Evenly Match was one of the reprints in there as well. So there's a lot of value in there. I mean, if someone was getting into the game and they were doing like a sealed only kind of deal, or they didn't have a way to get singles, and they bought maybe like just 3 structure decks or something, I'd probably tell them to buy Magnificent Mavens, because you're gonna get things like Lightning Storm, Triple Attack. You know, it's a lot of heavy hitters, and I almost want to put it in S, but I want to hold S to like a very high standing. But I also don't want to put it in A yet either. But I would say geez, I know I keep tossing things in A right now. I would say A. Borderline S, maybe like A.5 if I had that as an option. But not quite S yet. Battle of Chaos. I don't know. It wasn't too great. What even came in there besides like the alt art Dark Magician? We had the Dark Magicians as Starlight. Illusion of Chaos was kind of good. You see that played a lot with like Magician Souls. There's a little package. Dinomorphia actually popped up in this set as well too. I think God, Guardian Chimera as well was actually a really good fusion to be tossed in there. But you know, realistically, I think I'd probably give it like a C, honestly, because there's not a whole lot going on in the set besides the Dark Magician, some Dark Magician support as well too, and then Guardian Chimera, and yeah, I don't know. Battle of Chaos is a cool set. I just wasn't too, bolt on. Of course, these are all my opinions, so you guys, you could think Battle of Chaos is S tier. You might be like me and think, Mama is like 8.5 S tier. So next we have Tactical Masters. So Tactical Masters is actually pretty cool for reprints. Anti-Spell, Fragrance is in there, Droll Lock, Scapegoat. Cool collector's rares, I will give it that. Runic, big one in there. Kind of got hit with Mystic Mine getting hit, because I know that was definitely a huge combo. Valance are in there, and then Labyrinth as well too, which they haven't done too much. But I think honestly overall I'd be pretty comfortable tossing that into the B category. I think that's pretty fair. So next we got Power of the Elements, which was the big set of the year. It had Sprite in there. It had Tearlament in there. We got a Starlight DPE, which I am a huge fan of. But honestly, with it having Sprite and Tear, I'm going to go ahead and just give it an S. With the way the meta is forming right now, yeah, it's definitely an S. You know what? Actually, because I completely left it out, Magnificent Mavens has the Ishizu tier, or Ishizu engine in there. I don't know how I completely skipped over that. Yeah. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move Magnificent Mavens up to S tier. Because you can play the Ishizu stuff in other decks. It just works the best in Tearlament. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. Both of them are in S. They're definitely both in S. Dimension Force. So in here, we got... Oh, Dimension Force where we got Dinomorphia. I think Battle of Chaos, we might have gotten some Dinomorphia, but I said that earlier. Yeah, Dimension Force is where we got the Dinomorphia. Most of it, I believe. Therion as well, too. I'm a Cyber Dragon player, so I do really enjoy Regulus being in the deck. What was the other big one? Scareclaw was in there as well, too. And I think... Was there some Exo Sister tossed in? I think Difo... I'd probably give it a C. It wasn't anything too crazy. Dinomorphia, you see kind of pop up. Scareclaw, I think you're starting to see pop up mixed in with other stuff. And then Therion, yeah, you might see it mixed in. Or I think there was a pure build at one point. But I mean, like Regulus, yeah, he's good in machine decks. I mean, you'll see him in like ADC, Cyber Dragon, but that's all pretty rogue. But yeah, I think Dimension Force would probably be like a C. Alright, Legendary Duelist. Duels of the Deep with Mako Tsunami when it should have been a Shark set. I mean, what is there really to say? It had some Marincess support, which is cool. Droplet was reprinted in there. The Ghost Rare was meh. It was what? It was the Xyz. Honestly, I'm gonna give it a D. It's just gonna be a D. It's not a good set. The only thing carrying it really is droplets. And I mean, you guys might think, you know, differently, which by all means, let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. But yeah, that's kind of how I view that one. It's not one that I bought a whole lot of. I think I bought a box, then maybe like a handful of blisters, and just called it that. But now we are to the Megatins of the year, the 2022 Megatins. Reprints galore. I mean, yeah, the sets that happen for 2022 Megatins were not the best. I mean, Blazing Vortex was pretty rough. Yeah. Dawn of Majesty was not the worst, realistically. What else was in there? Burst of Destiny, and can't remember what the other one was. But we got things like Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. We got the alt arts of Dark Magician Girl, Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, the Hand Traps, Lightning Storm, Droplet. So we got a lot going on in there. I would say Megatins an A. I would honestly truly give Megatins an A. We got a lot of good stuff in there. We got a lot of cool imports too, like Link into the Brains, the Battle Tower. Now they're not the best, but they're still cool. So yeah, I would feel comfortable about giving that an A, especially with like the Hand Traps being in there, and it just kind of being like an overall like big reprint set. Things that really needed it. So the Crystal Beast structure deck. Oof. So we got Ash as a common. We got Dimension Shifter, pretty good. Yeah, we got the new fusion for them as well too. Reprints of just all the Crystal Beasts just in general. And why do I want to say there's like a spell that was big in there too that reprinted, but I can't lay my finger on it. Honestly, the deck overall, I think I'd probably give it a B. It's not terrible at all. You can play, you know, Crystal Conclave Control and whatnot. So it is pretty good for that. But I feel pretty comfortable giving Crystal Beast a B. I think that's pretty good. Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1. Alright. So it had Skill Drain. That was about like the big thing. Stratos looks kind of cool with the dual terminal Hidden Arsenal rarity as well too. That's about it. I'd say that's where you're at, Hidden Arsenal. Frick you. Alright, so we got the Battles of Legend Crystal Revenge, which just came out a few weeks ago at time of recording. So what? We got the Advanced Crystal Beasts. We have a whole lot of Starlights. Access Code, Borreload Savage, Yada, Super Poly, Blackwing, and then all 5 pieces of Exodia. So it's like 10. It's a lot. Jeez. Access Code reprint, pretty good. Selene, who needed a reprint, pretty good. Normal Borreload Savage reprint, pretty good. EN Shuffle. Seeing that in Hero decks helped turbo out Dark Law. I would say a B. I don't want to go too overboard with handing out the high-end stuff, but I would say a B. It's not the worst, not the best, but I mean, I think there's a solid amount of good stuff in there to justify it being a B versus a C with Dimension Force and Battle of Chaos. I think that's justifiable. All right, Ghosts from the Past 2. There was a big set that came out. A lot of cool imports. We got Borland, we got Heat Soul. We had the Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon guy that came out in there that ended up being in the Crystal Beast deck as well too as an Ultra. Go figure. The Ghost Rares were a lot easier to pull this year versus last year, which is nice. That makes it a little bit more, appealing to the crowd. Ghost Rares were cool too. I mean, getting things like Blue Eyes, Dark Magician Girl, Red Eyes, Red Archfiend, who got skipped over as being a ghost during his initial run. I'm not gonna say they were like the best Ghost Rares, but they were good. I think from a collectability standpoint, they're gonna have some long-term value. Geez, reprints in here. I don't think there's anything too crazy for reprints. We got the Agent structure deck in here as like pack fodder, basically. Geez. What else were like the big things in there? I mean, Blue Eyes was cool to get. Dark Arm was kind of cool to get as a ghost rare. The other highest rarity was the Ultimate Rare, which was only in, I think, like an Astral Pack, if I'm not mistaken. Necro World Banshee? Yeah, she was in there. She needed a reprint because she was like a $5 card. And then a Luber got reprint in there too. So, I mean, there was some cool things. Vision Heroes got some reprints. I would honestly probably give it like a B. Yeah, I'd probably give it a B. Just because of the reprints that were in there. And then, yeah, the Ghost Rares. I mean, they're a lot easier to pull, so people liked it. Alright, so Legendary Duelist Season 3. So in here we have the Magical Hero combined with the Immortal Duelist. So I would say the big cards were... Well, it's not Malicious Bane or Dusted Gold because they got reprinted in Brothers of Legend the year prior. So it kind of got a little hit with there. Liquid Soldier got reprinted as a promo, so that definitely needed it. Same thing with the Dark Magicians. Magician's Soul had like 4 reprints in there, all colored, and then... Or no, 3 reprints. Normal, red, blue. Yeah, okay, so 3. Yeah. I guess that's really it. The dice were cool. I'd feel comfortable giving it a C. I think that's about correct for Legendary Duelist Season 3. I think it gets a C. Just because there wasn't a whole lot in there. I mean, it came out kind of around... Did it come out kind of around when Battle of Chaos came out? Because if it did, that was good timing with Illusion of Chaos and Magician's Soul. You guys have to let me know down below. Did it come out like around the same time? Alright, so we got Grand Creator. Yeah, so we have the Adventure Engine, we have the Punk archetype, and then Exo Sister as well too. Then we also had some cool reprints, collector's rare like Torrential Tribute. I think that was really kind of like the only big cool one. Inzector got the card that they won in the poll that happened like in 2020. I think was when that happened. God, that just feels forever ago. So I would say Exo Sister we've been seeing pop up with it against Tier. Adventure we tend to see happen pretty frequently. Then like the Punk engine actually popped up like in a lot of different decks. I would feel comfortable probably giving Grand Creators an A. I think I think that sounds about right. And then the Dark World deck that just came out like a week ago, maybe even a few days ago. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I know a lot of people have been saying that it came out like the wrong time, like the wrong format. But I know Dark Worlds were good back in the day. I'm just gonna give it a B, kind of like down in the middle, just to give us some hope. Because I know there's like some really good reprints in there, like Skill Drain. You got the Dangers in there as well too. The new Dark World stuff is actually pretty good. So yeah, I'm not going to completely shit on it yet or anything, but I guess time will tell. Pretty much with that. But yeah, I think this is a pretty solid tier list for things that, came out this past year. Let me know down below what you guys think, of course. This is how I see it, at least. Yours could be completely different. Yours could be flipped the other way. You guys could think that Legendary Duels of the Deep is the best set ever. But yeah, it's all a matter of opinion. But that's what I have for you guys today. My own little tier list. It's the end of the year, so I thought it was kind of good to break down, get a little recap, and we got a lot of good stuff coming next year. We got Photon Hypernova. Me being a Galaxy Photon player, I am ecstatic about it. I can't wait to see what the Starlights are going to be, and then the Maze of Madness as well too. So pretty crazy stuff. So go ahead, be sure to check out rpkgaming.com. We got more merchandise up there. We got playmats up now too, which is pretty cool, designed by yours truly. So yeah, be sure to check that out. Use that TCG player link down below if you want to buy any of these products, singles, whatever. Helps out the channel more than you could ever possibly imagine. And we will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye. Mwah. And good night.